Welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Should Scrapper. So today I am back with a 2-page layout using papers from the Home for Christmas collection from Close to My Heart. And then for the embellishments, I kind of just grab a bunch of different Christmas embellishments from my stash. So for this one here, I have 4 photos I am going to be documenting. And so I cut the green paper, I believe 5 inches, because each photo is 4 inches wide, and I like to have space on the outside of my photo after I mat it where that paper will show. So that's what the green paper is, and then I have the poinsettia paper, and I don't know, it looks like maybe I took 2 inches off. So I guess maybe it would be 7 by 10. And I probably didn't cut it exact because I wanted to be able to kind of tuck it under the green paper. I wanted to bring in then another paper. And so I just cut strips of the wood grain paper, and I am going to add that to the top and the bottom of the poinsettia paper to make it look like an additional layer. So once I get this all done, I will then double mat, I believe, all 4 of my photos. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I know that I cut that part out because that does kind of get boring and monotonous. So what I ended up doing was the pictures that are going to be on the poinsettia paper, I double matted with a green. And then the pictures that are on that green paper, I believe the color is Mist, if I remember right. Either Mist or Mink from Close to My Heart. So it's kind of like almost like a gray, I guess. But again, I wanted the pictures on both papers to pop. And I felt like choosing the colors I did is going to kind of help them pop a little bit more so. And again, I'm getting ahead of myself, but you will see it here in just a second. But here are those photos here. So you can see the one on the poinsettia is the dark green with white separating it. And then it's kind of like a gray with white separating it on the green paper. Hopefully that makes sense. So now I went into my stash to find all kinds of goodies. I kind of just have a drawer full of Christmas goodies, and that doesn't even encompass all of my Christmas collections because my Close to My Heart collections are in kind of like that magazine rack or magazine holder, I guess, sort of. And then I have a Simple Stories Christmas collection in an iris container because I have just so much of that specific collection. So I have plenty of Christmas goodies. But I have a Simple Stories ephemera pack and then a Fancy Pants Designs ephemera pack. That's what that Merry Christmas is. I thought about using that for a title, but I just didn't love how there were extra colors, I guess. I really wanted to stick with, I guess, kind of the main Christmas colors, the colors of that poinsettia paper there. So again, I just have so many options. So I did pick out a postcard just because I felt like that was a good layering piece, a good, maybe solid color in between my photo and the busy pattern paper, where if I embellish on top of it, my embellishments will stick out more so than if they were right on that busy pattern paper. Hopefully that makes sense. So I like the way that the cluster looks to the top right. I believe I keep it just like that. I have that flare there from Scrap and Happy Studio. That actually, if you purchase from her, a lot of times she sends a free flare, and I actually think that might have been one of the free ones. So I like how that is, and then I have kind of the fireplace with the stockings, and decided to bring in more florals, not identical to the paper, but good enough. same rich, deep red colors, and so I decided to go with that. This is the sticker sheet that I have left over from the Home for Christmas collection, but again, just not very many options for, I don't know, maybe what I was going for with this layout. So you can see, you know, they're in the Christmas jammies, and I did a little photo shoot myself, and so I just kind of wanted to play off of that. The oh what fun I thought was perfect, and then kind of, you know, it wasn't Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve jammies, but I felt like the fireplace with Santa coming down, even though he's not in there, but I just felt like that was like a cozy feel for the pajamas. I did get two other kind of layering pieces out of, I think it's the crepe paper mittens and mistletoe collection. So that tree and then that pink. I don't think there is really any pink in the poinsettia paper, but I just like the way that they looked kind of overlapping each other. I just felt like it was a good option. And also, I think this is why I really truly did it, was that if I wanted to use any of the extra kind of crepe paper embellishments or this busy sidewalk chipboard, that had a lot of pink in it. So I needed pink somewhere else maybe. And so that was a good way to bring it in kind of subtly. That is one word that is kind of hard for me to say. Sorry about that. But you can see I brought in that kind of stamp, and the outside of that is pink. And so, again, it just having it in more than one place, maybe more than one embellishment, just kind of helps it look cohesive, I guess, in my opinion. I did decide to go with the Let's Get Cozy title. That is from the not Busy Sidewalks. That is from the Mittens and Mistletoe crepe paper. And then I wanted to kind of go get some more flowers. Unfortunately, in the Home for Christmas embellishment pack, I think I used up all of the flowers. So you can see how the title is 3 words, right? So with having 2 words on page 2, it just looked off balance. And so I wanted to add something to the first word, to the start of the title, to kind of balance that out a little bit. And so I kind of figured, you know, if I used a floral, then that would kind of help a little bit. And I like the way that that looks. It looks more balanced to me than beforehand. And I probably could have almost done something small at the bottom of the word cozy. If there was a smaller floral cluster, I probably could have added that, and then, you know, that I think would have maybe elongated it a little bit more so now looking at it. So sometimes when I do voiceovers, I kind of get some ideas, it's just a different angle maybe from when I'm just sitting at my desk. So it's kind of fun doing this and kind of trying to find some other ideas. I did decide to add another cluster down at the bottom. The green there was so much. And so I did decide to add some presents and then a little bear, and really just kind of layer them down in that cluster down at the bottom there. And I guess the layout almost mirrors itself. You know, I have the 2 clusters at the top, right and left corners on the top, and then I kind of have the same cluster, or clusters in the same position on the bottom as well. Sometimes with 2-page layouts, I kind of struggle on where to add the embellishment clusters. I don't want them too close together. I don't want them kind of clashing, but I really like the way that these look. The top clusters are kind of more simple, and then the bottom clusters are kind of, I don't know, a little bit busier, I guess, but I really feel like it just balances the layout out really nicely. Especially, you know, having the more simple clusters on the busier paper, and then the more, I guess, busier clusters on the more subtle paper. It works that way, I guess. And so I feel like probably why I chose to embellish the way I did with this layout. I didn't think I was completely done with the layout, so I did go into my stash and found these little chipboard pieces from Felicity Jane. When they went out of business, I just kind of went crazy, and so I have all kinds of Felicity Jane embellishments, collections, and I don't get into them nearly enough, but I felt like this little embellishment pack would accent my clusters nicely, I guess. So there were little chipboard trees, a couple of those. There were some stars. And so I'm just going to kind of sprinkle those throughout. And one thing this year I am really actually enjoying is the fact that I am using my stash a lot more. I have so much that I don't think I could ever truly run out. And so it just feels good to use up pieces that I have been holding on to. I couldn't even tell you when Felicity Jane closed. It had to have been well over a year at this point. And so these are just kind of in my drawer waiting to be used up. And it was just, it's a good feeling to use things up instead of hoarding them. I know I'm not the only one who kind of has their favorites and kind of hoards collections, papers, whatnot, but it does feel good to finally kind of use them up, make space for maybe something that you are going to like even better in the future. But that is going to finish off this layout. I will see if I can find anything from the Mittens and Mistletoe collection or the Busy Sidewalks collection. That's kind of the majority of the embellishments I used were those two collections, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.